Many people assume that anyone who studies the Bible or speaks about Jesus must automatically belong to Christianity as an institution. But the path we call Red Letter Christ is something different. It is not a denomination, a church system, or a creed. It is not allegiance to councils, traditions, hierarchies, or even to the Bible as a complete authority. It is a way of listening, specifically to the words attributed to Jesus himself, often printed in red ink in some editions of Scripture, and letting those words reshape the inner life. Christianity, as it developed over centuries, became a complex structure. Doctrines, confessions, political alliances, theological debates, and thousands of denominations interpreting the same texts in vastly different ways. These traditions can be meaningful to many, and they deserve respect. But the Red Letter Path does not attempt to defend or reform Christianity. It steps outside of it altogether. Our focus is narrower and simpler. The sayings and teachings attributed to Jesus, his call to love enemies, forgive endlessly, serve quietly, reject domination, give freely, and discover the kingdom not in buildings or books, but within and among people. These teachings are approached not as legal codes or dogmas to enforce, but as invitations into a transformed way of being. To call ourselves not Christian is not a rejection of people who identify as Christian. It is a statement about method and allegiance. We are not committed to defending theological systems about Jesus. We are committed to practicing what he said. We do not anchor faith in creeds about his nature, in arguments about miracles, or in institutional authority. We anchor attention in his voice. Historically, Christianity quickly moved beyond Jesus' own sayings into letters, interpretations, and structures of power. Over time, religious systems became intertwined with empires, laws, punishments, exclusions, and control. The red letter approach asks a quieter question. What happens if we set all that aside and listen again to the teacher walking dusty roads, speaking about mercy, humility, and the hidden life of the soul? This is why we say we are not Christians in the conventional sense. We do not gather under a banner of doctrinal certainty. We do not claim exclusive truth. We do not insist that everyone must believe as we do. We seek transformation rather than conversion, practice rather than proclamation, inward change rather than outward conformity. We also resist the idea that faith must be mediated solely through institutions or sacred texts. The red letter sayings themselves point repeatedly toward an inner reality. The kingdom within, the quiet room of prayer, the stillness where one encounters the divine directly. Our path honors that interior dimension. The teachings are not fences, they are windows. In a world fractured by religious labels, this distinction matters. Saying, "We are not Christians," is not meant to provoke. It is meant to clarify. It signals that our loyalty is not to a religion, but to a way of life shaped by compassion, simplicity, courage, and love. The Red Letter Christ is not a club to join. It is a mirror held up to the heart. It asks, how do you treat the vulnerable? How quickly do you forgive? How lightly do you hold possessions? How deeply do you listen to the stillness within? These questions do not belong to any single religion. They belong to anyone willing to live them. And that is why we choose the name Red Letter Christ rather than Christian. Not to separate ourselves from others, but to remind ourselves that the path begins not with institutions or identities, but with listening, and then living what we hear. If today's message spoke to your heart, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we'll keep uncovering the living words written in red, words that never fade. Dive into the heart of the Gospels with the Red Words of the Christ, a profound and illuminating exploration of the words spoken by Jesus Christ. This beautifully crafted book brings together the teachings, parables, and divine wisdom of Jesus as found in the New Testament, offering readers a focused and inspiring journey through his transformative message. Receive your copy today by visiting Amazon. The link will be in the description.